What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? It's your boy Chris Style. You are tuned in to the Arrowhead Chief Podcast, episode 110. We got Sports Talk with T coming in here. We got my guy Ty. We got Big Rube in the house. We're going to talk about a little divisional playoffs and a few other things on the slate. Let's talk Chiefs.
Yeah, Arrowhead Chiefs. It's your girl, Miss Nicole. Queen of Hustle, baby. Started from the bottom, now we here. My homie at the start of his career. Let's go. Try to warn him early, hear the truth. Tuning every Sunday for the juice. Arrowhead Chief Podcast, bringing all the news. If you missed the play, come back for reviews. Chris Style, out here rapping for the crew. Post game highlights, go subscribe on YouTube. If you missed the play, come back for reviews. Post game highlights, go subscribe on YouTube.
What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? We're back with another episode of Arrowhead Chief Podcast. And we got Sports Talk with T in the building. My guy Ty, the homie Big Rube. What's going on, fellas?
What's going on, man? Feeling pretty good heading into this divisional round. I'm just ready for this game on Saturday.
Yeah, me too, man. Saturday can't get here fast enough, man. It's been a long wait. Been sitting around waiting for these wild card playoffs to get going, and hopefully, you know what I'm saying, we come out with this dub. So, but let's go ahead and get into it, man. The wild card came up this weekend, and the so-called AFC threats.
That's my bad, fellas. My bad.
Good.
I had a couple.
You're good.
It's all. Got him in the lip.
He's in the Matrix. In the Matrix. He's back.
He's out.
All right, I think I got it. There we go.
I hear you. You might have to come back in.
Yeah, you just come back in, Rube.
Yeah. But yeah, the AFC, because that's who we pay attention to. Jacksonville Jaguars, the Chargers, they blew a big lead to the Jacksonville Jaguars, who we'll be facing on Saturday. But then the Buffalo Bills and the Cincinnati Bengals didn't look particularly good last weekend.
Yep.
They looked pretty vulnerable. Josh Allen, he didn't look too good, throwing a few picks, had a fumble, scoop and score. And then, Joe Burrows, that offensive line, him losing offensive lineman, that showed up with Ravens defensive line pretty much having their way with that offensive line. Justin Houston and everybody else on that defensive line was giving, Burrows pretty much hell all night. If it wasn't for Tyler Huntley and his, whatever he was trying to do on that sneak, they would have won that game. Ravens would have won that game, but they pretty much coughed it up and gave them the win. So, what are your guys' thoughts on the AFC threats, that supposed AFC threats, going into possibly a next week matchup?
Right, to an AFC championship game. Yeah, so looking around, there's not a team I don't think that we can beat. I think we can beat anybody if we show up and we're on our A game and Andy Reid's dialed in and the play calling's good. I honestly believe that this team can beat anybody any day. But with that being said, I think the biggest threat is still the Cincinnati Bengals. When you look at it, the Buffalo Bills, they have not gotten any better from the last 2 years we played them in the playoffs. If you think about it, some of their biggest additions have been hurt this season. Von Miller obviously getting out for the season. That's huge because he's supposed to be that guy that takes him over the top of a team like Cincinnati and the Chiefs. Mm-hmm. With him not being there, the receiving core being somewhat mediocre, I mean, you got Gabe Davis and Stephon Diggs, but after that, it's Cole Beasley, it's Isaiah McKenzie, it's Khalil Shakir. So there's some uncertainty up there in Buffalo. So I think the biggest threat's definitely Cincinnati. What do you think, Rube?
Oh man, there's so many like different variables that go into all these teams, but Cincinnati, 100% in Cincinnati. Like they beat us. You know, they got our number. They got those 3 good receivers, and honestly, I think Hayden Hurst is coming along pretty good. I think he's a good blocker. I think he gives Joe Burrow that bailout that he's been looking for. And Mixon hasn't been that strong, but he can still do what he can do. He's a pretty decent running back, right? But yeah, Cincinnati it is. Josh did not look good at all. Josh didn't look good. I was not scared of him. He was not a threat to me at all. Like I didn't feel threatened by him whatsoever. And I don't know if you guys noticed in that game, all he was doing was they were running zeros. Essentially, every receiver was running a zero every route, and he's just flinging it downfield, hoping for a play or a flag. So that don't really scare me. And as far as Jacksonville, they don't scare me, but they got a lot behind them. They are a tough team. They're a young team. They're a greedy team. In a way, they got all these weapons around this, up and coming quarterback, but they do have some weaknesses they need to work on.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, I think we'll get into the Jacksonville game in a minute, but yeah, I think Jacksonville, let's be real, y'all. They should have lost that game. On Saturday. They should have lost. and if that would have happened, in this game on Saturday, they get down 28-0, 27-0. Kansas City's not letting them get back in the game.
No.
I can bet money on that. Patrick Mahomes and them, unless Andy just has a meltdown and he brings out the F play sheet and they just play, I'm talking about letting their foot way off the gas and they just being hella conservative, 27 or 28-0. I don't see them. If Trevor Lawrence throws 4 picks against the Chiefs, it's gonna be 42-0 by halftime.
Yep.
I agree.
We're gonna put up 40 on them by halftime, and we might be seeing Chad Henne in the third quarter. and that's how that's gonna be, because if the defense is getting interceptions like that, and that means that pass rush is getting to Trevor Lawrence.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That means, L'Jarius Sneed, maybe even Trent McDuffie, the safety, Juan Thornhill, Reed, or anybody on that field is getting picks, then yeah, the defense is having a day. And you giving extra possessions to Patrick Mahomes and that offense, a dialed in offense, not a regular season, Andy Reid.
Complacent offense.
I'm talking about they're dialed in, they're ready to go. Hey, we know what the next, goal is. We gotta get to this AFC Championship game and then get to the Super Bowl. So
right.
I think that if Trevor Lawrence, and then it's gonna snow, it's supposed to snow on Saturday. You talking about a Florida team coming to Arrowhead? It's snowing, the crowd is loud. Yeah.
No way they coming.
I'm sorry. I can't see Jacksonville coming in and putting up, like, it might be close in the beginning, because Chiefs kind of like to start off slow a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
But I just think that once they get it going, they're gonna be too much. I think it's too much. Now next year we could talk about Jacksonville.
Depending on being a legit threat.
Yeah.
Depending on what they add, they're getting Calvin Ridley, you know what I'm saying? He's the number 1 receiver mixed with Christian Kirk and Zay Jones and Evan Ingram. That's a nice little offense right there. With ETN in the backfield, they just got to add to that defense. They ain't got any more guys on the secondary. Yep. They don't have nobody in the secondary that scares you. I mean, Andre Cisco, he's pretty good, but that's it. That's all they got.
Yeah, he's a hard hitter. He's not really a coverage safety.
Yeah, he's not. He's not a cover guy.
None of them are, honestly. None of them can cover anybody.
No. You saw that on Saturday.
Yeah.
So, not to get too much of the game, I don't feel like Jacksonville's a threat. Now, when it comes to Buffalo, Buffalo's just too beat up for me. Like
Yep.
they got injuries. Yeah, they getting Michael Hyde back, but we don't know how Michael Hyde gonna look when he been out of the game. He's been rusty. He hasn't played. Like he might not be that good. He might be getting smoked out there. You're like, I would test him. Like if I'm any team, if I'm the Bengals on Sunday night or Sunday, I'm testing Michael Hyde.
Yep.
I'm trying to see what he got because you haven't been out here. So I'm putting Hayden Hurst on a nice little over route to see if he can cover him. I'm putting Chase and T. Higgins, in crossing routes and see what he can do. Like I'm testing Michael Hyde because I don't know if he's going to still be good. He's coming off an injury. He's been rehabbing. He might not even be in football shape. So
right, exactly. I mean, it's going to be hard for him to make a full recovery that quick.
And I get it. I think as far as the Bengals and Bills game, DeMar Hamlin's going to be a captain. And kudos to that man. Glad to see him make that recovery. He's Sean McDermott said he's been in the building, so that's a good sign for him. So he's going to be a captain. He's going to come out, coin flip. They gonna hug it up. He probably gonna hug T. Higgins, all that good stuff, and they gonna play ball. Orchard Park's gonna probably be
rocking,
going crazy, snowballs flying all over the place. They gonna be jumping through tables and eating chicken wings. So, it's gonna be crazy. But it's still, I think it's a coin flip game. I still think it's a coin flip game. Even with Joe Burrows. Now, if Von Miller was healthy and playing, then I would give the edge to Buffalo.
Me too, because of that offensive line.
That offensive line, and you letting Von Miller free? Oh, man. Joe Burrows better have a long day. And no disrespect to Greg Russo and Ed Oliver and all those guys. They're decent. They're good, but they're not Von Miller.
They need to file a missing persons report for Greg Russo because he has not showed up ever since Von Miller went down.
No. He hasn't. He might be a sophomore slump. So, Von Miller's not out there. So it's up on them. They got to generate a pass rush. And then my problem with the Buffalo Bills is like Rube said, they just throwing whatever down the
just
field.
Deep shots all day.
There's no scheme to it. It's like it's almost like they say, Josh, be great. Go do
whatever. That's it. That is exactly it.
Just improvise.
They abandoned the run game too. Like James Cook is not that bad. I will not knock him at all. They abandoned him.
I don't think Singletary's that bad.
No,
I think Singletary's actually.
I think they got 3 pretty solid running backs with Hines in that.
Yeah. Hines too. Right.
Because he can catch it out of the backfield. So it's like they say, hey, all else fails, find Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
And maybe if Gabe Davis is open on a 9 route, like that's it. Like they don't use Doxson not in the middle of the field, like they probably supposed to. Make things easy for him and get the easy routes for him and over the middle stuff. Everything is bombs away. And they kind of remind me of us. When we had Tyreek and we was in Sammy Watkins and all the game, that was our offense where we bombs away. Now we did it so much at a high level, nobody could stop us until they started implementing that too high safety.
Yeah, right.
Look, and then they was like, "No, we ain't letting Tyreek Hill or nobody get behind us. You gotta take the easy stuff," and that's what Buffalo's running into. Now, the Bengals in the beginning of the season, they was running into that too.
Until they started using Joe Mixon,
P. Ryan. And they started using more crossing and over routes with T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd and even Hayden Hurst. They started learning. And that's why I always put Joe Burrows. I put Joe Burrows over Josh Allen because I think he plays the position better. I think he plays the position better from the pocket and from the scheme. Whereas in Josh Allen, it's like run or throw it down the field. There's no nuances to his game. So I don't know, man. I it's like you guys say. I think the Bengals are the bigger threat because Joe Burrows, I think, has more nuances to his game, and I think their defense is probably a little bit better right now. then
They pass rush is very underrated.
yeah.
Hawkinson and who's the other guy? Sam Hubbard? Is that
Sam
the
Yeah,
Hubbard.
Hubbard.
Yeah, them two dudes are relentless. Like they
D-
gonna keep playing at until
DJ
that whistle
Hill.
blows.
Yeah,
Yep.
DJ Hill, DJ Reader, like they got some
Mm.
guys over there, man.
Oh,
They definitely got some guys over there. So yeah, I don't know. I think the Bengals and honestly, I wouldn't be scared of the Bengals either right now because I think this is the year Chris Jones.
that offensive line.
Yeah, I
Yep.
just think Chris Jones and them.
Chris
are gonna
Jones
be
to go
there.
scorched earth.
And like I was saying yesterday, I just think that they're not going to tackle as poorly as they did in their first showing this season. Like I think the tackling will be way better. I think Nick Bolton's going to be flying around. Willie Gay. I think that defensive line is going to be so locked in, especially it's an Arrowhead. It's not it's not in Cincinnati. We're an Arrowhead. We're AFC Championship game. This is the team that kept us at the Super Bowl last year. Like
Right. They kept us from winning it because
I think we
put
put
that Rams team.
we would have. Oh man, we would have rocked that Rams team. They could not. Ramsey would have got burnt.
Yeah, I think we would have.
Tyreek Hill would have cooked them all night.
Yeah, I think we would have beat the
Oh
Rams.
man, that would have been
Pretty
funny.
soundly too.
And Tyreek Hill would still be a Chief if that happened, I think.
I think he would be too.
Oh, 100% he would be.
I think he would be too. But hey, all things happen for a reason, right?
Exactly.
Now
Now we're sitting here 14-3, better defense, young guys flying around. Trent McDuffie's all these draft picks are looking pretty good.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I think our secondary is going to be way light years better than what it was last year. If we play Buffalo, I don't see Josh Allen going off for 400 yards or,
Gabe Davis getting 200.
Yeah, I don't see that. I think I think they're going to lock it down and make sure those receivers don't get off on them like they did last year. So.
Oh no, they haven't played McDuffie. They have not played.
Yeah, they still haven't. Yeah,
I think they ducked Willie Gay too. They didn't play against Willie Gay that game either. So that's y'all better be ready for that if y'all want to come over here, and it's going to be good. And even if we play Cincinnati, like I really think that our defensive coordinator is going to be like, hey, Snead, you got Chase. You follow Chase the entire game. And we'll see what McDuffie does. I don't like putting McDuffie on Higgins. I'd rather put like a Joshua Williams on Higgins just because he can match that length.
From the size, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But McDuffie against Boyd, I'll take that all day.
I'll put L'Jarius Snead on T. Higgins.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put L'Jarius.
Yeah, I would do that.
And I'll put McDuffie because he did really good the first matchup. With Chase. He was locking Chase down, actually. Chase wasn't getting off like he wanted to. Even that holding penalty that they called on Trent, that was a phantom call.
That was phantom call.
That was so phantom. Because it was an interception, right?
Yeah, they waited until after the interception to throw the flag.
Juan took it all the way down the field, and then they threw the flag. So, that was a phantom call. So, for the most part, and Trent was playing those sidelines really good when the receivers catching the ball. He was pushing them out of bounds. He was laying them out, more thin to the sideline. So, Trent is really good at that. So, I'm confident. And these safeties are starting to play better. That's what
they're playing great right now. And in the perfect moment, too. Like, Thornhill has come alive in those last couple games. And you know what? If we really look into Justin Reed's season, he has not had a bad season whatsoever. Like, he has come up big. Some of the tackles that this dude is making, I would not trust Tyrann Mathieu in that, role. Like that tackle he made on Josh Jacobs in the first Raiders meeting. Who's going to take down the 230-pound back coming at you full steam? Justin Reed took him down. Same thing when we played Derrick Henry. He was putting his shoulder into Derrick Henry.
Yep.
So these safeties are definitely coming alive.
Yeah, I think Justin Reed just needed time to figure out the system, get comfortable in this system. I think we how we are just Chiefs fans. We want instant
impact, right?
Instant gratification.
Flying around, making plays, catching interceptions. And it don't work like that all the time. Not all guys are, not all people are gifted like that. There are some guys who can just step into a defense and make impact plays right away. Like if Derwin James somehow became a free agent, he comes to the Chiefs. I expect Derwin James first game flying around making picks, hitting people like. But Justin Reed, he's a really good safety. But it took some time to figure out the system. Even though Juan knows the system, he still has to get that chemistry with Justin, with the other corners and stuff.
He's playing a completely different role than he was last year.
Yeah, he doesn't have a Tyrann Mathieu out there. Even say what you want about Dan Sorensen, even though he was trash, Dan knew where to be. It was just him getting there.
It was like a natural instinct.
It was just him getting there. That was the problem. He couldn't get there. so, but hey, whatever. Now, Monday we saw the Cowboys and the Buccaneers play, and it went exactly how I said it was going to go. Like we all saw, I don't know how people didn't see this coming, but I'm sorry, this Buccaneers team was just not that good. They're just not. They've been bad all season. The offense has been struggling. It's a struggle for them to score points. Like unless they do that no huddle fast offense stuff, they can't get down the field. Their running game is terrible. Clarence said it best. Leonard Fournette came in out of shape, and then he tried to work his way into shape. He just never got it going. That offensive line was beat up. Tom Brady looked unhappy and uninspired. Like he didn't want to.
He looked like Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, like he looked like he was not having fun whatsoever. And then him and the receivers were just off. Like him and Evans, that was money the past few years.
They've been off a lot this year.
Drop passes from Evans, overthrows, bad throws from Brady, and it didn't look right. So I'm asking you guys, do you think this is the end of Brady in the NFL, or do you think this is the end of Brady on the Buccaneers?
I'll let you go ahead, Rube.
I think it's the end of Brady on the Buccaneers. And I think that because I think Brady is about to go into that, tail end of his career where he's like, I'm just going to play, and teams are going to be able to go get him because he's going to generate so much money in the fan base, right? Like you're going to go get, or if he goes to a Raiders in Las Vegas, Tom Brady in Las Vegas, what else do you want with Devontae Adams? You're going to generate all that money. You might not be that good, but you're going to generate all that money. Or Tom Brady. Who else did they say? I think they were talking about him going to San Francisco. I don't think San Francisco would be a good fit for him. They got their stuff figured out.
If Brock Purdy gets them at least to the Super Bowl,
or even the NFC Championship game.
You can waive him. You can waive Tom in San Francisco gone. But I don't think we see the last of him in the NFL. I truly think he'll be back. If he's back with Tampa Bay, he's back with Tampa Bay. They got to make some serious changes, though. Like, they got to get some protection. They need get rid of Leonard Fournette. He's not it. He's not the guy he used to be. He's done.
He got his ring. He
dipped out. He dipped out. He got his
exactly.
ring. He dipped out.
And that contract too.
Yeah.
Oh man, that contract was uncalled for. But get Tom another little gadget wide receiver. Godwin. I think Godwin's good. I like Godwin. I always like Godwin.
I just think he took him time to get off that. He just tore his ACL last year, so I think next year he'll be back to being the Godwin that we know.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, I don't think it's the end of Tom Brady in NFL. I do expect to see him back somewhere.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's definitely not the end of Brady in NFL.
Mm.
This dude's going to collect these checks as long as people are handing them out. And they're going to be handing them out for a while. I mean, he'll go wherever. Like, Vegas would be a really good spot for him, like market-wise, sponsorship-wise, brand-wise, because he does have his own brand. He's probably thinking about that in the front of his head, and football in the back of his head at this point of his career. That's never been Tom before, but I think he's just at that point now to where unless you have a really, really stacked team around him, I don't think he can deliver he can take you to the Super Bowl in the current climate we're in the NFL, especially in the AFC side. I mean, you got all these young quarterbacks, Trevor Lawrence, who's going to have Calvin Ridley on that team next year. They're going to have more additions to that roster this offseason because people are going to want to go play there now, and they're not going to have to overpay. So, and then you got Justin Herbert, obviously. You got Patrick Mahomes. Like, the AFC is so stacked. I don't see him making it out of it. Honestly, I don't. With Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, I mean, all these guys. And the NFC side was probably where he needs to stay if he wants to ever sniff another Super Bowl, because he's not making it out of the AFC alive. I mean, there's no way.
If I'm him, I'm looking at the Commanders.
Yep.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I might even look at the Saints. I might go to the Saints. I know the division. If Tom Brady goes to the Saints,
roster ain't bad.
The roster ain't bad. You got Chris Olave. You know, I don't know what's up with Michael Thomas.
What about Seattle? Or do you think they're?
I think they want to pay Geno.
They should just stick with Geno.
I think they want to pay Geno. Geno deserves it. Like,
he does.
Don't do that to Geno, man. I mean, now it was there.
He's going to get paid.
Now it was there. Rodgers on the other hand. Man, we had to look at Geno like, thank you for your services, sir. Thank you for your services. We getting there, Rodgers, man. I love you, man. Thank you. And
thank you for getting us to the play.
Hey, and if I'm Geno, I go to the Jets.
That's what I was about to say. I'm like, Geno, go to the Jets because you'll make that a team over there.
Hey, that's a reunion. We coming all full circle, baby. We coming back.
And New York would welcome them back with open arms.
Of course they would.
I'm still feeling Lamar in New York. That's what I'm feeling right now. Lamar in New York or Miami.
I don't know if Lamar's personality would work with New York. He's a low-key,
laid back
guy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But think about that roster with Lamar. Like, think about Garrett Wilson, you know, all those young backs there, and that's a good defense. You know, Saleh might be a good fit for him too. You never know; he might get him tougher.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm not saying this. I just, I don't know. I don't know if he is that New York market. I mean, if they paying him, then yeah. But I don't know that New York. I think that Lamar, like Ty said, Miami. I think Atlanta. I think Atlanta might be a spot.
Me too. I think that'd be a good
scary. That would be scary.
If I'm Atlanta, I'm on the phone like, hey, what y'all want?
They were already in on Deshaun Watson last year.
Exactly. Now you get a quarterback without the scandal. So,
But think about like that Atlanta offense, right? That's just a bunch of athletes. That's just a bunch of athletes. Just
I bet you Kyle Pitts gonna get the ball more.
Oh yeah.
He definitely and Drake London too.
Yeah.
Drake London and Cordell Patterson coming out the backfield and then lining him up at receiver. That'd be a fun offense to watch.
Even that rookie running backs he's really made some noise at the end of this season.
Was it Tyler Allister or whatever?
Algier.
Yeah, he's
they got a pretty good pass rusher over there in Atlanta too. Garrett or
Grady Jarrett.
Yeah, he's coming along.
They need to add one more. They need to add one more guy over there. But still, no.
They got AJ Terrell in that secondary. Like, they
got
a lot of young pieces.
He's a baller.
That dude is cold.
He's a baller.
He's top 10.
Yeah, he shuts people down.
I give him top 5. That kid can lock some receivers down.
It's just the other side.
The other side's being exposed. Well, they got Rashad Fenton out there somewhere.
Oh man, I think they do got Rashad Fenton out there.
Yeah, now they're getting cooked. Not turning his head around. Pass interference every play. Because Stan Fenton. I loved him,
He had a good, solid couple of years.
Yeah, then like this year, he was just like, he was holding and pass interference. And it was just like, all right, man, we take our chances with Joshua Williams. Watson on there, man.
Najee Johnson at one point was probably over him.
In the game.
DiCaprio Boodle, I don't care. Get him off the field.
Chris Lemons.
Put him on special teams, man. Let him be a gunner or something. No, let me stop. No, but yeah, I think Atlanta would be good for Lamar Jackson. That Atlanta community would embrace Lamar
Yep.
Jackson
The,
because
the culture, he would fit it pretty
like
well.
that Michael Vick 2.0 type deal going on. Yeah, they would love him. They would love him. So now we got a quarterback being a little disrespectful to Arrowhead. Sunshine, aka the Prince that's promised. Being a little disrespectful to Arrowhead.
Obviously, the environment and the atmosphere we're going to play in is one of, if not the best in the NFL. I mean, I can't imagine it'll be much louder than our fans were here on Saturday, honestly, but that was when we were on defense.
What you just said?
He just said it.
What did he? Let's play.
Obviously, the environment and the atmosphere we're going to play in is one of, if not the best in the NFL. I mean, I can't imagine it'll be much louder than our fans were here on Saturday, honestly, but that was when we were on defense, not offense. So, we.
Somebody want to tell him? Somebody want to tell him what he's in for on Saturday?
He's in for a long day, especially with the snow coming down. The fans don't give a damn if there's snow or not. They're going to show up. They're going to scream. It's really like locking a whole bunch of psychos in a room and telling them to yell. And it's going to be so loud. Trevor Lawrence is going to, I'm telling you, he's going to be shocked. We'll see a look in his eyes when he realizes, oh, wait, this is a whole different beast than it was.
When he's and T is like, what?
What? Run that way? Run that way?
What?
Slant? Yeah. All right. I got. Oh man.
There's gonna be so many false starts.
The leg game.
Offense.
I mean, even Seattle struggled a little bit with it in that one game. There was a couple of false starts on them, and they're coming from one of the other loudest stadiums in the NFL. For them to struggle,
they should be used to it now. Seattle should be used
exactly.
to 12-man stuff, but
Jacksonville, what? Didn't you have 5,000 fans there for week one, the home opener?
They probably got to pump sounds in. Like they got to put it on the speakers and stuff. Somebody loud in Jacksonville. There's a bunch of old people in Jacksonville. They're too old to be yelling.
It was past their bedtime last Saturday night. They woke up.
They all went to sleep.
Yeah, they woke up, read the newspaper, said, "What? They came back?"
Oh wow! Guess we should have left. Guess we shouldn't have left early, honey. Yeah. Trevor Lawrence, and then Josh Allen talking trash too.
I didn't see that.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, he said they ready, they coming, we gonna win.
He's talking about the Bengals game.
Oh, he's talking about pass rusher Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were talking about the other Josh Allen.
I don't know why he talking because you was about to be a chief before the trade deadline.
Exactly. They was trying to ship you out.
Right. Yeah, it was about.
They was trying to trade you off.
Right. Like, come on, man. Like, chill out.
He didn't play too particularly well the last time we met, brother.
The only defensive player I know is Cisco, and that's that. He the only one that made noise in my eyes in that game. Nobody else really could stop us. We were going over them like we were crazy. We ran the ball on them too. Like Pop was killing them that game.
Yep.
Yeah,
so I don't know why they chirping at us like we haven't done this before.
I just think experience, man. We're just a better team. We're just a better team, and we should win this game, man. Like,
and the Jaguars are naive coming into this game. They don't realize they're not going to realize until they step foot on that field. And the kickoff's about to happen. That's when they're going to realize this is way bigger than I thought it was. I done messed up.
If we so happen, and like I said, I don't see this for coming. The only way we lose this game is Patrick Mahomes has one of his worst games. Dudes is fumbling the football. Dudes are dropping muff punts, dropping passes, like things of that, like that. Like it would just have to be a collapse.
Like the Chargers.
Yeah, like the Chargers,
Yeah, like the Chargers.
pretty much. All right, fellas. Before we get into our game, let's talk about these divisional round games. Give me your picks. You know what I'm saying? You know, the game after us is Giants and Eagles. Then we got Sunday slate with the Bengals and the Buffalo Bills, and then the Cowgirls and the 49ers. Yep, that's all them Cowgirls.
I'll start out with um let's go with the Giants versus the Eagles. It's gonna come down to Jalen Hurts. I honestly think it's gonna come down to Jalen Hurts. If he come out there and play like Jalen, those first 16 weeks, and he came out, well, no, 15 weeks because he didn't play week 16. He come out there and play like that, then I don't think the Giants have a chance with their roster, what the Eagles can do on their defensive side. Their defense is pretty good. So I think they come out. But you know what? I'm not going to count out Daniel Jones either because that dude is a different quarterback with DeBoer. DeBoer is the coach. He got to be the coach of the year. He's got to be the coach of the year. You took a quarterback who everybody said was a bust, and he got his first playoff win this year. And he looks like he is definitely the leader of that team. So I'm not going to count them out. And Saquon's playing great as well. And Thibodeau, oh, man, I like what I see in that dude. That dude is a relentless pass rusher. And then as far as the Cowgirls in San Francisco, I love – that's my second favorite team. The Chiefs will always be my favorite team. But San Francisco's going to light them up, and they're not going to see anything like that coming. Dak hasn't played a defense like that, I don't think. That defense is absolute.
No, that Tampa Bay defense is old compared to this
old
defense.
And hurtful, and but that Fred Warner, that pass rush and Bosa, whew, I don't know. I don't think Dak can get through that. And then as far as the Bengals versus the Bills, like you said, Chris, it's a head point toss. Like, who's gonna win? We don't know. We can go Bills and go Bengals. I don't really know who's gonna win that game. It might come down to last possession too.
Yep. It's going to be a last possession field goal in that game for sure. It is. Carl Schefter's calling that game. I don't know how, but I'm just glad he's not on our game. So, hey, I don't care. They can deal with Schefter's all they want. But as far as the games, I'm picking the Eagles too. I think this will be a closer game than people expect. I see this being like the 3 to 7 point game. We already seen in the first round what it's like when you play that divisional team for the third time. It's hard. They know your tendencies. They know what you want to do. They know how you're going to try to do that. So, but if Hurts plays and he's healthy, well, we know he's playing, but if he's playing like himself, like you said, Rube, like he was playing before, then I think the Eagles will take care of business, and I think that's going to happen. But I do think the Giants make it a close game. In the Cowboys and 49ers, I can't pick against Brock Purdy right now. Mr. Irrelevant. He's Mr. Relevant now, like you said a couple weeks ago, Chris. The way he's been playing, I mean, he had 4 touchdowns in that last game, and he started out pretty slow in that first half, but he was able to make those adjustments in the second half. So I expect them to win. I think Dak Prescott, like you say, he's going to struggle against this defense. And then as far as the Bengals and Bills, this is where I'm back and forth at, right? Because I want to pick the Bengals, but they got that beat-up offensive line. And I look at the Bills, and Josh Allen really underwhelmed me last time. And if he plays like that against the Bengals, there's no chance in hell they win. So I'm going to pick the Bengals because I think it comes down to who the better quarterback is in this game. And I honestly believe Joe Burrow is better than Josh Allen. He's a more technical quarterback. Like you said earlier, Chris, he's a pocket passer. He doesn't have to take those deep shots. I think that was all by design with their offense because they said they let him, make some decisions on the play calling after a slow start. We've seen a lot more checkdowns. We've seen a lot more running the ball. They've just been, matriculating the ball down the field and little by little getting down there, while the Bills, they need those. They live off of those big plays because a lot of times if they don't get that big play, it's a 3 and out.
Yeah.
So that's my reason for picking the Bengals, but it's going to be a close game.
Yeah. The first game, the Giants and Eagles, it's like Ty said, I think it's going to be closer than what people give it credit for. I think Danny Dimes is playing really good. Like Rube said, though, it comes down to Jalen Hurts, man. If Jalen Hurts is not Jalen Hurts, Eagles going to lose. They can lose this game. And as much as good as this defense is, defense can be scored on. Like you've seen it, it can be scored on if you know if Saquon is getting off, and that's the key. If Saquon can get
it
off,
opens up everything.
that's going to open up everything for Slayton, for Hodges, and for Richie James, and for Bellinger, the tight end. So that's going to be really key in that game. But I'm going to pick the Eagles in a close game, like a 27-24 type deal. I think the Bengals and Bills, I'm going to roll with the Bengals on this one, and this is why. I just think that there's going to be more nuances to that offense of the Bengals. I think that they learned from last week. Like, all right, we got to do something. They got to do some chipping on Trey Hendrickson. They're going to have to use the running backs more, run the football more. I don't think it's going to be a lot of Jamar. Like, I think Jamar Chase and them are going to get theirs when they need it. But I think this is going to be more so a Joe Mixon, a Samaje Perine type game. And they're going to do a lot of short routes and just nickel and dime down the field, keep Josh Allen off the field. And I think they're going to do enough to win the game. I think Josh Allen is going to probably throw a bad pick because he does it every game.
Every week. A red zone interception.
Weekly turnover. Weekly turnover.
Yeah, and it's going to be a crucial turnover where I could see possibly a pick six. So I just think that he's going to make a couple. I think he's going to have a turnover or two that's going to, make them lose this game. And Ultra Prox is going to be pretty sad that day. Yeah, they're probably going to go after Josh Allen that day. So. he's gonna
no way. The golden boy. It's the golden boy.
He's gonna be golden that day.
He's gonna be the bronze boy.
Third place. They're going to change the playoff format just to get the Bills back into the playoff winning column.
It's a 3-game best of 3.
Like what?
Now the Niners and Cowboys. This is where we're going to see what Brock Purdy is made of, because this is going to be the best defense he's played against. Because no disrespect to Seattle, they ain't the Cowboys defense, and they don't have a Michael Parsons. They don't have a Michael Parsons on that side of the ball,
or even a Trayvon Diggs.
They don't have a Dexter Lawrence. They don't have none of that, or Marcus Lawrence. They don't have none of that. So I just think that I think this is going to be a low scoring game actually. Like I can see a 2017 type game. Like I think both quarterbacks are going to have their struggles, and I just think whoever has the ball last to get down the field and kick a field goal is going to win this game. And I'm going to give that to the 49ers. You can't trust the
Cowboys kicker, right?
I'm gonna give it to the 49ers because I think the 49ers defense is going to make more plays, and Dak Prescott is more prone to throw a pick or two or, fumble the football. I just think that – and I don't think their running game is going to be as effective in this game. So if Pollard's not getting off, then it might be a blowout. But the only thing I will look out for is the matchup between CeeDee Lamb and Charvarius Ward. If Charvarius Ward is getting cooked like he got cooked last week,
or like he got cooked last year with
Jamar Chase.
but even last week, DK was giving him everything.
Yeah, he was.
So we'll that matchup is going to be big. If CeeDee Lamb is getting off, then the Cowboys got a chance. But and Dalton Schultz is the X factor in this game.
And Michael Gallup too.
Yeah. But Schultz is the X factor as far as over the middle plays and check down. So in the red zone too. So but I got the 49ers win in like a 20-17 type game. It's not gonna be as, high flying and all these weapons flying around. I just think it's gonna be a defensive game. So yeah, man. Should be exciting.
It will be. Hopefully we'll be chilling to watch these games and not angry. That's what sucks about the early game.
I know, man. You sit back like,
That's what sucks.
Looking at you don't even want to watch football. Like,
I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'll probably be done with the NFL.
I don't even want to watch Bills and Bears. I don't care who wins. I hope they tie.
Can they both lose?
Nobody want to see Jacksonville in the NFC Championship. Yeah. So, well, in the bye week, injuries was the thing. You know, we want to come into this game healthy. Now, one player in particular that we thought we was getting back don't look too good. And there's another player that Ty said that he would come to Arrowhead and blow it up if he ends up on the field in CEH.
Oh man.
He said he's gonna blow Arrowhead up and take Clark Hunt for ransom. No, just playing. Just playing. No, but seriously, CEH is on. You know, they took him off. He's in the 21 window. Him and Jody Fortson. Good to see Fortson back.
It is good to see Fortson.
But the main thing is Mecole Hardman, and
right.
You know, a lot of was talk going into this offseason about Mecole. You know, everybody was in the mindset that Mecole was going to have his best year, and that if he and not having his best year, if he has his best year, he probably won't be a Chief no more.
Right.
Now, it might be a little bit more realistic for him to come back on a 1-year deal. Don't be surprised, Chiefs Kingdom, if he signs a 1-year deal and comes back and tries to ball out. So, how are you guys feeling about Mecole possibly not coming back for the season and CH and Jody Fortson coming back?
Yeah, I'll let you go first, Rube.
Oh man. As far as Mecole, no, I agree with you. I think Ty said it like a couple weeks back that with that injury, Mecole comes back and bets on himself the next year. Comes back into the offense he's familiar with, the quarterback he's familiar with. And he might light it up. We don't know. Honestly, before that injury, that 49ers game, I thought Mecole was about to become into his own. I thought he was feeling himself. I thought he was back. I'm like, all right, this dude is about to start ripping the top off. Then that injury, came. But I think, the growth of Mecole over the last couple of years, we've seen some on, some off. I don't see him done as a Chief, especially the relationship that he has with this team. And I think, if he would have balled out, I think he would have got that Christian Kirk type deal either from us or from somebody else. And as far as like CEH, as much as we all, can't stand him running in between the tackles, he gets lost in the red zone, and that's what Patrick Mahomes loves. He loves that because you got all these other weapons flying around, and then you forget, wait a minute, where's the little 5'5", where's that 5'5" running back at? And then you look at he in the end zone, right?
I don't think Ty like that.
No. He's gonna go take it. He's gonna
fumble the damn ball. Keep possession. We're gonna pull McKinnon out the game.
Yeah.
But you just never know. You know what? Yeah. I would much rather have Rojo right now. No, I'm not gonna disagree with that. I think he's figuring it out. That's another change of pace back. It's another physical back. That's a battering ram back there, and that'll take the pressure off Pac. They'll take the pressure off McKinnon. And then as far as Fortson, I love our tight end room. I think it is the best tight end room in the National Football League. I honestly do. Noah Gray, Travis Kelce, Jody, Blake Bell. Was it Franks too? I think we have
Jordan Franks.
That got a little bit of everything with that mix. I mean, blocking, athleticism, you get a little bit of everything.
And they all learning from the best tight end in the game right now.
Right.
And that's just gonna up their game. So I think that tight end room is one of our more underrated, aspects of our offense. When we get in that tight end set, man, that's tough to stop. That is so tough to stop. So it's good to see some people back, but we can keep Clyde on the sideline if that's what Ty wants.
All right, man. Look, y'all gonna stop dissing on CEH, man. Come on, man.
Send them to the Bengals for Jesse Bates.
Yeah, not doing that. Yeah, not doing
The only
that.
thing you're getting for CEH is one of those little 25-cent bag of chips you see at the dollar store.
With
You get
air in
four
it,
for
with half
$1.
of an air.
Yeah, half of his hair. You get like 3 chips.
You're not getting that. But no, look, yeah, it sucks about Miko. Hopefully,
It does.
the situation that he has with his, pelvis, stomach, whatever it is. Hopefully, it's not as serious, where it's career ending or something like that. Hopefully, he gets back and gets well. But I mean, I know we got Kadarius Toney, but Kadarius Toney's health is, is still a concern. You never know. Hopefully he stays healthy throughout these playoffs because Kadarius Toney is a secret weapon almost.
Right.
That, Andy Reid is probably going to unleash in these playoffs and be like, wait, like you think he's something now. Wait until next year when I really incorporate this kid into the offense. But I just think that because I think Kadarius Toney is somebody that no team was really accounting for him because he hasn't been on the field, so they don't know.
They don't know what to expect.
They don't have they got a little bit of tape on him, but they don't know all he can do and what he's going to do in this offense. And you're going to have to respect him. Like when he do them jet sweeps, the defense got to respect it now because they didn't seen it. Like you seen what he can do in the open field when he's in space, and even when he doesn't have creases or spaces, he has so much wiggle and just can maneuver. I think that's what he does a little bit better than Miko. Like I think Miko is a deep threat and he's good, but I just think Kadarius Toney is a way better athlete. Like he does certain things that a lot of people can't do. He's not Tyreek Hill, but he can do Tyreek-esque type things. Like he doesn't have that speed, but he can move and shake and shift. I can see him on a crossing route and Patrick throw it to him and he takes it 40 to 50 yards down the field. I can see Kadarius Toney do that. So I'm not going to sit here and say Miko is not a huge loss, but it's not as big as a loss with Kadarius Toney on the team. So he could do a lot of the stuff that Miko can do. And then hopefully we get Sky Moore back. Hopefully they ramp Sky Moore up in these playoffs and get him some more looks because we all know how we all feel about Sky Moore, man. We know that the kid has talent. He's got the potential. They just got to put him in the spaces and give him more reps. We want to see him more than Justin Watson. I'm sorry. We just do. We want to see him more.
It's not asking for too much, is it?
I'm just saying. I just think he's the better receiver out of the two.
He catch one deep ball and everybody think he's back, and I'm like, no, this dude's gonna drop 6 other ball easy completions.
Yeah, and I just don't like that. And it's not all Justin Watson's fault. Pat off on some of the throws, but I would like him to try to help his quarterback out and fight for the ball a little bit more. Come back to the ball,
especially when you're 6'4".
Yeah, come back to the ball, sir. Like don't wait for the ball to just hit you in your hands. If you see it floating a little bit and it's gonna be short, come back.
That's it.
That's my problem with MVS. Like, come back to the ball, man. Like,
man,
or jump. Like, can you jump?
Jump a little bit.
Can you jump? All you got to do is jump a little bit off the ground, and you'll get the ball.
He's like 6'20", man. What are you doing? That's why I don't think he's going to be on the team next year. I think he's.
You know what? As much I'm looking into that, I honestly don't think he might. Especially like when we did our mock draft and seeing those like wide receivers that were in the 3rd and 4th round. You got a Mims in the 3rd round, and then you got Zay Flowers there. Like, and it's that kid from Nebraska too that's still sitting there.
Yeah.
You might, and honestly, we might take a shot at going to get a veteran wide receiver. We don't know what's gonna happen with DeAndre Hopkins. We could go get him and just re-sign Juju and McColl and let go MVS.
Don't let Clarence say this. Don't let Clarence.
Clarence, if you're watching, skip that last part.
He didn't say that. I want DeAndre Hopkins too.
I think we all would take Hopkins with open arms.
Come on, man. especially if it's like a third round pick. He's better than anything in the third round.
Oh, go ahead, take that third round pick.
You can have
third
it.
round pick and a glass of milk for Kyler.
Third round pick and Miko. All I care for. You have MVS. Come on, MVS.
Throw Kyler a new controller in the deal.
No, throw him Clyde. Him and Clyde the same height. They'd be fine back there.
Yeah, but yeah, man. Well, as far as CEH goes, I mean, look, the man knows the offense. You know, Andy's gonna put him in some reps. You just know it. He's gonna get a couple carries.
I get mad over there.
It is what it is, man. He knows the offense. He knows it. It is what it is. So, hey, hopefully he makes the most of his carries. Hopefully we've seen. Let's not act like early in the season we weren't on Clyde's team. He was making plays in the beginning of the season. Like,
he was balling in the red zone,
especially in the red zone. I will give him that. If we're using him in the red zone, I won't be mad because I've seen. But if we're running him in between the tackles and he's getting a yard per carry, 2 yards per carry, I'm gonna be furious. Look, we got Isaiah Pacheco, we got Jerick McKinnon. These need to be the two lead backs heading into these playoffs. You need to split it between them. Maybe you have Clyde come in 3 or 4 carries, kind of like what Rojo has been doing. That's what I would want for Clyde at most. But if he's taking touches away from McKinnon in the red zone, who I actually think, personally, I think is a better red zone running back, especially in that receiving game. He just always finds a way to get open. Clyde kind of was doing that early in the season. But McKinnon, he was a quarterback, so he knows how to be a quarterback's best friend, what spots Pat wants him to be at and how he wants to get it there. So as long as if he's not taking away carries from them, I'm really not going to be mad. But if he's taking carries away from them, you're going to see it on Twitter.
I'm retweeting all of it every time.
Clyde's gonna make a 50-yard run to the end zone. It's like, take that, Ty.
We're gonna tag him in there on Saturday when it happens.
Hey, I won't even be mad. I'll be like, hey, I was wrong.
But no, hey, it's okay to have a little depth. Depth is always good, Injuries happen in the playoffs. You never know.
I don't know. Melvin Gordon's on the practice squad.
You say elevator.
I knew that was coming.
You can't have the fumbler out. I would take CH over the fumbler.
You don't want that problem. He at the end zone.
Definitely not in the playoffs. Like, that ship has sailed for him.
You give them a scooping score at the end zone, I'm gonna be mad.
We all gonna be really mad.
So yeah. But yeah, it's good to get a little depth back. We'll see how it works out. So hopefully Miko, his situation is that serious.
Yeah, especially. I mean, because I like Miko. I know he's interacted with Rube a few times on Twitter, even over this last week. So, I really like Miko. He's a good dude. I really like his mentality. I just like the player heading into this season. Like you said, I thought he was going to have a really big season. I wasn't saying 1,000 yards, but I thought this was going to be definitively his best season. And I still would say it was definitively his best season. Yeah.
Unfortunately, injured. I was in the Spaces earlier, and they put a recording of Miko. I guess Miko came into the Spaces in November, right when he had got on IR. And they said he was pretty vulnerable and talking about everything behind the scenes. So, Chiefs Kingdom, if you get a chance, I'll try to retweet it out there. You guys go back to listen to that Spaces. What's your name? Auntie was in the Spaces today. Patrick Mahomes.
Really?
Yes. His auntie, Pat Senior's sister, was in the Spaces. She was giving us behind the scenes stuff. When he got the reason why he acts away when it comes to Chicago was she said that Chicago told him that they was going to take him.
Wow. And they didn't. They took Trubisky.
Yeah. and then Lee Steinbaum was like, "Oh man, he's going to go to Cleveland." And that's when I guess Patrick Mahomes was on the phone, like, "Hey, Kansas City, come get me."
I ain't going to Cleveland. No, save me.
Help.
He sent the message to Beach. Help me.
SOS.
He's like, I swear I will throw 5,000 yards if you do this. I swear. How many times? 50? I'll do it.
But she was really cool, man. She was really insightful, really cool person. Like she was in there talking about a lot of stuff. So shout out to her. Yeah, she was in the spaces like giving us.
That's crazy to think that though, right? Like,
Yeah.
I, honestly, like when I watched that draft, I knew we were gonna get a quarterback, but honestly, I did not think it was Patrick
I
Mahomes.
thought we were getting Deshaun Watson.
I thought it
to be
was Deshaun
100%
Watson too.
honest.
I thought like, man,
And I
Deshaun
was
Watson
totally
with Andy
happy with the
Reid.
pick. Like I was like Deshaun Watson. I was like so happy about the pick before it even happened. It was Mahomes. I wasn't mad about the pick because I watched him play
Yeah.
in college. I watched a lot of Big 12 football, and I was like, oh, they're getting a project. I wouldn't say he was a project, but it took him some. I think that year really did help him
Yeah.
personally.
She said that too. She said that he said he wasn't ready his rookie year to start. Like that year where he sat behind Alex Smith, he said helped him a lot. Like
He learned
that.
how to become a pro. I
And
remember him
Alex Smith,
saying that.
and Alex Smith, she said Alex Smith was such a good guy and helping him out. And I think that the whole Alex Smith helping Mahomes out came from him in the Colin Kaepernick situation.
Yep.
Because he had to do the same thing with Colin Kaepernick because he got hurt that season, and so he had to, help him out and help Colin Kaepernick out along the way. So it is, so he was used to it. You know what I'm saying? And probably knew that at the end of the day they was going to send him to a team, trade him away. They weren't going to trade him to some, bad franchise or nothing like that. He was going to send him somewhere decent with some weapons or whatever. Or he got.
And they were doing pretty good before it went down. They were on pace to win that division.
And then he got hurt. He had an unfortunate injury, but hey, man, he's doing good on ESPN right now. So
yeah, he is.
Oh yeah, he is.
So
he's making the big bucks.
Yeah, he is. So, all right, fellas, let's get into the game, man. The key components of the game on offense, fellas. If we want to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars, what do we have to do?
I would say not turn the ball over, stick with the running game, and protect Patrick Mahomes would be my three biggest things because this defensive line did not play pretty well the last time we played them. I think they only got 10 pressures on the day, which is not including sacks, which they might have got 1 or 2 sacks last time. But if this defensive line does show up, because they do have some high picks on that, you got Josh Allen, you got Trayvon Walker, you got some players in the middle, Fadukazi from the Jets. So they got some players on that defensive line. It's going to be important that the Chiefs are able to keep Patrick Mahomes upright. And if they can do that, and Patrick Mahomes will play a clean game and no turnovers will happen.
No, I agree. Like one big thing I think we need to lean on is that running game. Let them boys cook. Let Pac and let McCann cook. Let them go out there. And like I continue to tweet out, that offensive line is built to run. That is a physical offensive line. Let them boys run. Let them get in between the tackles. And then on offense too, just consistency. Passing game. We don't always got to go for the deep shot. Patrick has got so much better not relying on that deep shot, but taking what the defense gives you. Travis Kelce is a big part of that. Keeping Juju on the field, because when he played against the Jags that first time before that concussion, he was having a big game. He was catching everything his way, and he's too physical for those defensive backs. So that and let's just clean up the small things on offense and let's not turn that ball over. I totally agree with that.
Yeah, I'm with you guys, man. Be mistake free on offense, no turnovers, running that football. I want to see Pacheco not just in the first quarter, but in the second and the third quarter.
Right.
Not just the first and then in the fourth when we need to close it out. Like, at least give him 15 carries, man. If he can get 15 carries, then that's good. I think Pacheco can have a good game. 80 to 90 yards, especially it's snowing outside. Like, come on now. This is the perfect.
He looked like he liked the snow.
From New Jersey. He's from New Jersey. Of course he likes the snow. He's used to the snow. So this is where you use Pacheco and run him in the snow, And Pat being mistake-free, not forcing anything, not trying to do too much because he wants to get this win. Like, play within the offense. Just, do what you need to do. And these tackles, Orlando Brown and Andrew Wiley. I need you to be on your best behaviors, fellas. I need y'all to do your best.
Best behavior. Let me ask y'all this. This ain't got nothing to do with like the game, but in the off season, what you doing with Orlando Brown? What you guys doing with?
It all predicates on these playoffs.
Yeah, I agree.
If he balls out in these playoffs, if I don't notice Orlando Brown getting smoked and he's holding down that left side,
And we get to Arizona.
and we get to Arizona and win the Super Bowl, and he's instrumental in that, then we can sit at the table and talk about a contract. We can sit at the table and talk about a contract.
I can take that.
but even if we still, let's say we do still go to the Super Bowl and win it, but despite of him, then we franchise tag him, and I'm not mad if they play him one more year on the franchise tag and draft his successor. And
right.
The successor sit, maybe even play on the right side until
he gets
the following year flip over to the left side. But that's what I would do. Okay. Well, or if you could trade him and get some picks, and I guess you got to go out there and see if you can get a left tackle, like a Lermy Tunsil, maybe.
Yep, that's a good one. That's a good
one. I'll take Tunsil.
I ain't mad at it. Throw him a little first round. Get 2 first-round picks. Y'all need all the picks y'all can get, man, because y'all suck.
Y'all need everything.
All the picks you can get.
They got position of need
everywhere.
On the draft night, it's going to say everything besides running back.
They need quarterback. They need receivers.
They need skill position, offensive line. They need trenches. They need kicker. They need a punter.
They good at one side of the corner and a safety. That's it. They need another corner.
And another safety.
They need pass rush. They need everything. So yeah. But no, if Orlando Brown balls out in the playoffs, I'm not opposed to paying. I don't know about number 1 overall left tackle money, but top 5 money. I give him top 5.
I'm not paying him more than Trent Williams at all.
No.
I wouldn't pay him more than Trent Williams.
He's not getting paid more than Larry Thompson. So this is what it is. So yeah, we not doing that. You can get a little bit under them. You know what I'm saying?
It's a good 10 million under it.
Yeah,
no. We'll give you 12. He should be in the 12 to 15 million range.
Yeah, he should be.
But he thinks he's in the 25 million range, which we all know he isn't.
He done bumped his head.
No.
We'll ship your ass to Chicago. Good luck.
Justin would get so mad at us. What y'all send me? We send y'all a refrigerator. That's what we send you, a refrigerator.
Yeah, right to the Bears. Good luck. You feel like you don't see how it feels to go from first to worst. You'd be depressed.
You got Byron over there. You got Pringle over there. You'd be all right.
Yeah.
It gets way colder in Chicago.
Windy, man.
So yeah. All right, on defense, fellas. If we're gonna win this game, what do we got to do on defense?
Ooh, I'll let you go ahead, Rube.
Defense. You know what? It's tackling. Let's just make it that simple. Tackling. Not letting 3rd and 14 turn into 1st and 10. Those are biggest. 3rd down drives me nuts with the Chiefs because I know either we get a stop or they're getting a big game for some strange reason.
Right. They're getting that deep ball.
Yeah, exactly. So let's see that. And then Chris Jones, let's see him light that offensive line up. And, pay attention to detail, boys. With Joshua Williams or Jalen Watson, we don't know who's going to be out there on the other side. We know Trent McDuffie and Snead's going to be out there. But with Joshua Williams or Watson, watch out for the penalties. Let's not get all grabbing and, let's just be smart because this is the playoffs. Those small penalties in the regular season is okay. But here in the playoffs, it's a different ball game.
Yep.
So I say just consistency and tackling. Let's get that down.
Yeah, I agree with all those points. I think Chris Jones, I'm not saying he has to have a big game to get his contract, but it's time, man. It's time. Aaron Donald staring down retirement. Okay, it's time to cement your name as the best defense tackle in the league. I know a lot of people will say he already did that, but I'll point to playoff stats. We need to see him do it in the playoffs. We played a lot of playoff games for him to have 0 sacks. I mean, let's call it like it is. We played a lot of playoff games. I get he's getting double teamed a lot of time. He's freeing up Frank Clark in the playoffs. So that's another thing to watch out for. Frank Clark could have a big day. He always turns it up in the playoffs. I don't know what it is about Clark, but it's like, I don't know if the speed just gets a little bit faster in the playoffs or what, but I agree with everything on defense. And if we can get to Trevor Lawrence consistently, which I think we'll be able to do. I know the Chargers defensive line actually struggled a little bit in that second half, but I don't think it was anything the offensive line was doing. I think the Jaguars have a really big offensive line, and the Chargers have a whole bunch of speed rushers. And once that speed's not beating those big guys are getting a lot more confidence. So, and I think we got a lot of big guys on this line. I mean, obviously, Chris Jones, Carlos Dunlap's a pretty big defensive end. Karlaftis will bring you that high motor element. So I think we're going to be able to get to Trevor Lawrence. I think everything starts there. If we can get to him, we're going to create turnovers. The Arrowhead crowd's going to get to him. It's going to be getting really loud on those third downs. We're going to need that because we cannot be pressing, going man coverage on 3rd and 14. That's what's killed us this year. Let's call it like it is. Spags gets a little aggressive on those 3rd and longs. Sit back and tackle. Like you said, sit back and tackle.
Yeah, it's simple. Stop ETN.
Right.
Do not let ETN have a big game. Making life easy for Trevor Lawrence. If we stop him, make him one-dimensional, make Trevor Lawrence have to throw the football, this defensive line can eat. Chris Jones can get his first sack. George Karlaftis can do his thing. Dunlap, Clark, Saunders, Diana, the whole line. If we stop ETN, and we did a pretty good job with it the first matchup.
Yep.
So I want to see it do it again.
In that Raiders game against Jacobs, we really 2 yards per carry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So stop ETN. Do not let ETN get off on you guys. If you do that, we should win this game pretty soundly. And that's how I feel. All right. Key matchup.
Key matchup. I'm thinking it's Chris Jones versus them guards. I think that's the key matchup for me because they're going to have to double team Chris Jones. If they think their guard is going to go one-on-one against Chris Jones and slow him down, they are sadly mistaken, and they will learn fast that that's not going to work. So that's the key matchup for me. It's him eating up those blocks up the middle with those guards, creating one-on-ones for pretty much everybody else.
Okay. I got 2 solid key matchups. I got L'Jarius Sneed and Christian Kirk. That's a key matchup to me because Christian Kirk is coming into his own. He's definitely developed a relationship with his quarterback. And we've learned to trust L'Jarius Sneed shadowing, their best receiver. Yep. And I honestly think that's their best receiver other than, Evan Ingram is a good one too. But I think just Christian Kirk is the guy. And then as far as like on offense, I think Josh Allen versus our tackles. That's just that, he's a very fast, bend it all rusher. Can Orlando Brown or can the Wileys hold up? We know Trey Smith can come over and bulldoze somebody over. We know what Creed can do. We know what Tooney can do. But can our tackles hold up against Josh Allen? Because he didn't do that much in the first game, but he can heat up really fast.
Exactly.
I'm going knee safety versus Evan Ingram.
Let's go.
Justin Reed, Juan Thornhill, Brian Cook.
Even the linebackers a little bit on that.
Willie Gay.
They got to put Willie Gay on Ingram. They got no choice.
Do not put 47 on Ingram.
Or 54 on Ingram.
Oh, man. You're asking for trouble with that.
Do not put either one of those guys on there, or he's going to have 175 yards and 2 touchdowns. But no, that's a matchup. The L'Jarius Sneed and Christian Kirk one is interesting because I think L'Jarius Sneed, when he came into that game, the last game, he was hurt.
Yep.
You could tell.
A little beat up.
Christian Kirk was getting some off. So I think L'Jarius Sneed definitely wants that matchup back. So that'll be interesting to see if L'Jarius Sneed I have confidence a healthy L'Jarius Sneed can do his job against Christian Kirk. And on offense, like I said before, this offensive line versus that defensive line. If this offensive line can hold up like they did in that game, then we should be able to move the ball down the field easily, scoring touchdowns at will. So that's pretty much how I see it. Like, all right, fellas, give us a score prediction.
Ooh, I got the Chiefs winning this one, 31-21. I think we're going to be able to do whatever we want on offense in that first half, and then I think Andy Reid's probably he's gonna look at his play sheet. He's gonna flip it. He's not going all the way to the C sheet. He's going to the B sheet. We're gonna score probably 7 to 10 points in the second half, and they're gonna put up a touchdown or two to make things a little bit interesting. But I got us winning this game by 10 points. I think the spread's at 8.5. I would pick the Chiefs to cover that spread.
So, I picked the first matchup kind of similar when we played them in the earlier season. I'm gonna go 35-21, and I give the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes just comes out on fire, and we'll see a little bit of Henny. We'll run the ball out a little bit more. I think our defense shows up in that first half and put their foot down. I think we see some sacks, but I'm giving Pat all those touchdowns. That's all Pat's touchdowns, and one to McKinnon and a couple to some other receivers.
Travis got to. I think Travis.
He got to get.
He's ready. Zone. He's ready to get back in that end zone. He is.
Yeah, most definitely. I think they've been saving him for the playoffs. That's what they've been doing. I got 35-17. Woo. I think it's gonna be a smoking session. I think they're gonna roll up Jacksonville real good, tight, and smoke them. I just think that we're a better team. I think they're gonna come out flying around. They know Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Chris Jones, Frank Clark. They know the assignment. They know the agenda. And
they're on a mission.
We're on a mission. Arizona is the mission. We're not playing with these boys today. We played around in the regular season. We slowed it around and played around. We ain't playing today. We're gonna build off that. We're gonna build the same momentum we got off that Raiders game. We're gonna bring it into this game, and they gonna do the same thing. They're gonna do the same thing. They're gonna make Trevor Lawrence throw a couple picks. I ain't gonna say no, maybe a pick 62, but I think they're gonna make him throw a couple picks, and they're gonna capitalize on those turnovers. And I got them 35-17. All right, fellas.
So we got a smoking session.
Oh yeah, it's gonna.
I hope so.
They're gonna be just like them grills and tailgating. That's gonna be Jacksonville. They're gonna be on the grill. Right on the grill.
Fire them up.
You're gonna see Glizzy Trevor Lawrence. Flip up.
Yeah. Mr. Sunshine. Surfer. He looked like a surfer, don't he? Him and Herbert. It was like the battle of the surfers.
He does look like a surfer.
But I like Trevor Lawrence though. He's all right.
Yeah, I like Trevor Lawrence too.
I like
him.
The one thing I look for in a quarterback, and that's why I knew Mahomes was official, is that when the pressure gets to him, how does he look? Does he look like a deer in headlights? Does he look like the moment's too big for him? Or does he look like, man, whatever?
Kind of remind me of Jalen Hurts when he was in Alabama. He was just like, "Oh, okay, you scored, cool. I'm gonna go score again." Like whatever. Yeah. Like I don't care.
That's how I know Joe Burrows is official. Like he just stays the same. There's no different facial expressions. He's just like whatever. He's looking at the playbook, on to the next. Josh Allen. He's got that little bit of in him, but sometimes Josh can get a little
crying.
He's the biggest crybaby in the NFL right now.
See what he was doing trying to do. See what he was doing to Christian Wilkinson when he threw that interception, trying to fight defensive line.
Get us started on that one.
almost got beat the hell up.
And then he walked away.
Then let his offensive lineman finish the fight. Like, hey, Joe. Tell on somebody, man. If that was Chris Jones, they'd have kicked him out the game.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I tweeted that so fast. I'm like, that's CJ. He gone. He gone.
Are we did they got Tony Romo calling that game?
Yeah, they got Tony Romo
On the Bengals and Bills game.
Oh my God, we got to hear him in this love fest that he has for Josh Allen.
Yep.
Calling
and
him.
then Bengals fan or what's that? Bills fans have the nerve to say, "Oh, he like that with Mahomes." No, like he'll say some stuff, but not the. Josh Allen's the best quarterback in the NFL. The Bills are the
The
best.
champs. The champs of what?
The champs of what?
The champs of what?
The AFC
30
East?
seconds.
0-4 in the Super Bowl. 0-2 in the against us in the playoffs.
I've never seen this before. A quarterback who gets so much credit for losing to Mahomes in the playoffs. Like he gets.
Yep.
Like Burrows don't even get this.
Nope.
That's
And
why I like Burrow more.
His team I like Burrow more too. I just think he's
Yeah,
the better quarterback. I like Burrow a lot more.
I do too. But it's just like, come on, man. Like really? Like really?
And you let
really
the league
think
in
it's-
turnovers.
It's Mahomes, Burrow, and then a big drop, Josh Allen. That's how I feel.
That's how I feel too. But it's like
I think Justin Herbert right there behind Josh Allen. I do. I think he's right there
I think
behind
he's right
him.
on his heels.
The thing about Josh Allen is this. Yes, he has a big, strong arm and all that good stuff, but that running is not sustainable. In 5
Nope.
years, he's not going to be able to do that.
Nope. It
He
takes
really
one
reminds me
linebacker.
of Cam Newton a little bit. Cam Newton was big. He had that strong arm, and then once he had that shoulder injury, it went downhill.
never the same. And he's going, and
Yep.
that's going to be Josh. He keep playing reckless the way he playing. You better get a Super Bowl soon because
That's it.
it's going to be bad in a couple of years when he's the backup quarterback for the Colts.
Commanders.
I'm just saying. So, all right, fellas, man. Appreciate y'all coming on the show, man. Rocking with y'all, talking Chiefs with y'all.
Appreciate you
man.
having us.
Oh,
Yeah,
man,
appreciate
all
it.
day, all day, man. And hopefully I know we are. I'm talking. We are. We'll be talking about a 5th consecutive AFC Championship game. Hopefully it's in Arrowhead and not in Atlanta. Because the Buffalo Bills are big babies.
My question to that is, why is the Bengals and Bills game not a neutral site this week when the Bengals could have jumped the Bills had that game been played?
I agree. I think it should be fair across the board. If you're going to do this neutral site crap,
Right.
you should do the neutral site for those two.
Yeah,
That should be the neutral site game right there. Those two.
We had nothing to do with that. Why we suffering?
You wasn't in that. Like,
We
no disrespect.
was at home. We was chilling on the couch watching the game.
Like, come on, man. That should be a neutral site game. They should be playing in Atlanta. Not us. We got to see.
Yes, we didn't do that.
Man, they don't want to see Mahomes. That's all right. We just gonna go to Atlanta and put up 40 and win the game. Go to the Super Bowl. And they gonna hate us even more.
Yep.
It's
Exactly.
about one. They be talking about the one seed handed to. I mean, they just come up with something new every day. They moved the goalpost on Patrick Mahomes. I heard that when I briefly jumped into Spaces earlier, Chris. They were saying before the season, it was, now he doesn't have Tyreek Hill. He's not going to be as good. Now it's, he has Travis Kelce and Andy Reid, so he should be playing like this. It's like they move the goalpost constantly.
Bad about that.
Yeah, for sure, man. But yeah, like I said, man, I'm ready for this AFC Championship game, man. Bring on the Bengals, man. That's what I want. Whoop their ass real good, so they fans can shut the hell up.
I'm gonna be on all their block lists if that happens.
Oh, I'm gonna be insufferable on Twitter if that happens.
Tired of him, man. Then we go to the Super Bowl and show them how to close the deal.
Exactly.
Hopefully it ain't San Francisco, but that ain't the point.
Yeah, hopefully
But if it is San Francisco, I'll
Hang
say
on.
this: Mahomes is better than Brock Purdy, and I think that's in a Super Bowl type game. That's gonna be a difference.
Yeah, I mean, of course the Chiefs will be favored. They'll be favored.
They'd probably be favored by 6.5 points, honestly.
Yeah. For sure. All right, fellas, man. Till next time. See you on Monday, Ty. We recap the weekend.
Yeah.
Talk about this Chiefs win, 5 consecutive AFC championships.
Hopefully.
Yeah, most definitely. It's going to happen. I ain't worried about the Jaguars. I'm seeing right past them. I'm just like, I ain't seeing right past them.
Can't overlook him. He don't even see him. He's like, wait, what?
Oh, there you are. Almost stepped on it. But all right, fellas, man. Appreciate y'all coming through, man. Talking Chiefs.
Absolutely.
Definitely always welcome to come back and talk Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? Next week we can talk the AFC Championship game next week. You know what I'm saying?
I've never seen Cris this confident all season.
I ain't gonna lie. If it was the Chargers, I'd be like,
I'd be predicting a 3-point game.
I don't know about all that.
We gotta play them again. I hate them.
We're gonna need some heart pills for that game.
Oh man, I might need some heart pills for this damn game. Stupid Chiefs.
You never know.
They never make it easy. They just never do. They never.
No, that's the Chiefs for you.
But yeah. But all right, fellas, man. Hope y'all have a good rest of y'all night.
Yeah, you too. Peace.
You too. See y'all later.
All right, y'all. If look down at the bottom, give a shout out to our sponsor, Every Morning Quarterback. If you look it down at the link at emqpodcast.com/locker-room, you'll see the link to locker room access to all the podcasts that's under the Every Morning Quarterback umbrella. If you go to that link, you'll see a Chargers podcast, a Patriots podcast, a Jets podcast, and you'll see our podcast, Arrowhead Chief Podcast. You'll see all the recent and past episodes. Go ahead and hit that link and go to it. Also, go to their podcast. They have one. Shout out to Anthony, Brandon, Connor, and Jack. They doing their thing. They talk about everything. Why? I also give you betting tips. So go ahead and hit them up. Subscribe to their channel on YouTube. And if you listen to podcasts on a certain platform, we are available on all of them, whether it be Spotify, Stitcher, Breaker, Anchor, all of them, Apple, Google. Arrowhead Chief Podcast is on there. Check us out on there, whatever streaming platform that you use. And if you want to follow us on social media, you can find us at AH Chief Podcast. We're on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Follow us back because our motto over here is we're not Hollywood. We are regular fans just like y'all. If y'all got some questions, some critiques, some feedback, something you want us to talk about on the show, let us know, and we will definitely talk about it. We don't have no egos over here. We want to give y'all the best Chiefs content. So till next time, we're going to get this W on Saturday and on to 5 straight AFC Championship games. Peace.